Would you flush my ears tonight? Thanks.
There was this guy and this girl, and they wanted to make a podcast, and they didn't know what to call it, but they sure talked a lot, so they said, let's call it Flappity Flap, Flappity Flap Podcast.
Hello and welcome to Flappity Flap Podcast, brought to you by nothing in particular.
Nothing at all. Not even in particular.
Yeah.
Brought to you by us.
Wow, now you're loud. Look at you.
Oh God.
You're like shouting.
You made me get closer. And
Yeah,
this
but-
is the benefits, the rewards that you reap.
Well, it doesn't look like you're clipping, so it looks good. Although it is picking up some little other noises with the mic gain up. Looks like it picked up your drinking and stuff.
And my farts.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's
No
picking
farting
up
allowed.
my
We're
mouth
in a small
sounds.
room.
It's bigger than a closet. It's definitely, why is it picking up my mouth stuff? I just had an apple. So we had some apple. Because
Wow.
because someone
Could
said,
just turn the mic gain back
yeah,
down.
you probably should.
Let's turn it back down a smidgen.
Okay,
A smidgen. How's that? Is that better?
maybe.
Can you hear me?
Weird. Yeah, it feels like, okay, now it feels like I can't hear myself at all. So, no, it's fine. It's fine.
Apparently it's...
Very sensitive.
So wait,
Are
talk a
you-
little bit?
Oh my gosh.
No, talk a little bit?
Talk about it.
Okay, so you are the first plug.
Am I?
So yeah, you should be good now.
La 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 la. So someone said, eat an apple before you record because it, I don't know, either hydrates you or picks up all the excess moisture. So we did. And then right before hitting record, I tried to swallow this last little piece. And like, what is it about sometimes when you're like, why do I feel like it shoots up into your nasal passage? Like, I feel
What?
like now there's a tiny, because I
That
kind
shouldn't
of
happen.
was maybe breathing or talking as I was trying to swallow. I know that's a no-no, but I feel like there's a little chunk or something or peel.
Do we
that
need
is
to take a break? Are you going to
lodged.
be okay?
Just feels like it's right at the juncture, if there is such a thing, of
Oh. Oh, no.
you should never have to snort
We need to cut.
an apple chunk.
We need to cut this, I think.
No, I think this is gold. But
Comedy
this
gold.
is real life. Oh man, this is gritty. This is gritty real life drama.
Choking on apple
Oh my gosh.
pieces. Do you need a break?
It's fine. It's fine. So then you have this headrest thing. Was I not recording in this last time? Because it's bonking my...
Headphones? Every time you
Headphones.
turn your head.
I feel like Princess
You could
Leia, but like,
You could swivel toward me,
I kind of did, I thought.
but then you need to pull the mic
If I
up to you.
turn my
'cause-
head a tiny bit, it's like, bonk, bonk. Did you like that?
Like what?
Impressive, plosive. Putz. I love you.
I love you too. You freak. What do you want to talk about?
What's on tap for today? I
Oh,
hate
God.
saying that, but I like it's
Who
in
says
my.
that?
I can't say it because I just can't. It was someone at work, and I always hated it, but it was like,
Oh, I thought another
Mm-mm.
podcaster would be saying that. What's on tap for today, folks?
no, and I hated
I mean, it would be good for like if
a
you're
bar or
like a beer
oh,
podcast or
yeah,
something. But otherwise, just
not
don't.
cliche at all, not easy at all.
Are you being sarcastic?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't think I've
Sorry.
ever heard it.
Oh, okay. No,
mean,
someone
except
at
for at
work
a
used to
bar.
say it. Like, what's on tap for today? And I was like,
Was it back in England?
Otherwise I would totally talk about it because that is ancient history, that period in my life. It's like when my aunt had this.
When?
Why do I do that? I think it's stalling for time as the gears grind into motion.
You're inserting a vowel where there
It's
is no
instead
vowel.
of saying or like.
When. Okay, I'll let you talk. Go ahead.
That'll be the day. I'm just kidding. I know it's like always the opposite. My aunt had a boss who was a bit of a prick and very, I think probably at his core, extremely insecure and always trying to keep up with the Joneses. And he started saying, I think because David Letterman said it, what's the question? And every fucking day he'd come in and he was just he had moments of niceness, like when you didn't expect it. But he would just come in and be like, what's the question?
Like,
and it's
roller
like
coaster ride type of personality.
Yeah. And he would just come in and I think, like, I don't know if David Letterman used it that way. Maybe I should Google it. But it was like, I think it was kind of like,
while you tell the story.
I think it was kind of like what's on tap or what's going on or what's on the list for today or just like what's going on. But he would just be like, what's the question? And it was like, you fuck. And I said, why does he say that? What does that mean? And my aunt later was like, yeah, he says that because when he realized David Letterman says it, how funny it was, he made it his thing. Or I had a boss in like a senior paralegal who supervised me, who started saying, and this is still I think my boss uses this too, and I hate myself in that I have maybe started saying it because it became part of like regular speech with regard to like workload or whatever. But this guy was pretentious too and insecure, and he would say, what's your bandwidth for doing this task? And I was like, bandwidth is an internet, can you just stop it? Like, why are you...
Me?
What are you doing? Are you watching a whole Letterman episode?
No, I'm trying to find him
Give it to
saying,
me.
what's the question?
Give it
Oops,
me.
Here.
I think this is just distracting, and we don't know when it's going to come. So I canceled it. Anyway, so this other guy...
All that work for nothing.
No. I don't know. I'll have to Google it later. But this other guy would say, yeah, what's your bandwidth? And I was like, why are you using that word? But I didn't. I was too young and... young and naive and cowed to say, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, like, like in fear and like made to feel kind of subservient and
put in place or whatever.
I was just young. I put up with a lot of shit from that guy. He was like, what's your bandwidth for preparing this binder? I was like, just say, do you have time to prepare it? Yes. Regular English. Regular language. You fucking pretentious twat. And that may come across as pretentious that I say twat that way. But that's because I spent a lot of time with people in England or from England who say twat. So it's like how I say sometimes windscreen or car park because they're just easier or they like roll off the tongue. But he was a twat. He was a first class twat. And twat just feels like a body part that's kind of What do you have to add to those thoughts? Did you ever have a boss who like would use like a buzzword and you're just like, you're so gross in your head?
A buzzword?
Did the tat shop people ever say that? Or your cafe people? Or where else? Where else did you work?
Not that I can think of.
I think it's like an office person type of phenomenon. I always have trouble with that.
Phenomenon?
So I think we see where my resentment comes from in that I have trouble speaking. So when people use words that that are new, I resent them.
Because you're confused?
Can we just stick with the oldies but goodies,
You're confusing me and confusion makes me angry. Confusion makes me smash.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. So I would. I would smash that place up, those respective places.
Oh.
I smashed the water cooler.
You smashed the water cooler?
No, there wasn't a water cooler. Actually, depending on which place we're talking about,
Isn't there
was
always
a water
cooler at law firms
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
offices?
Yeah, pretty much. You have to give the people their water, and it has to be filtered or purified or whatever. You can't be that tap shit.
So is that where you have the conversations?
No, because there's no room. Like, so in our current office, you walk in the kitchen door and the water cooler, but it's not like one of those replaceable bottles, you know? It's like a one that I think is plugged directly into the water line or whatever it's called. And but it's just like a big black
with a filter
thing.
on it?
Yeah. So and you can do hot and cold or like warm. You can like mix the two. So it's pretty cool. But there's no way you could stand around that thing talking because you'd get bonked by the door whenever someone came in. But you stand in the kitchen. It's like because the water cooler's in the kitchen, the conversations just happen in the kitchen. Yeah. I thought there was going to be more. I thought there was going to be more thoughts that came from that, but I just think that those kind of like buzzwords are like office people. Maybe because this is going to sound really hateful because I'm also talking about myself though, so it's okay. Is that you're so bored and you're so boring when you're talking about stuff that you have to inject these words like kind of like euphemisms, you know, borrowed from other industries. I don't know.
It makes me think of a little bit like the boss from Office Space.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't think of how he talks.
So, Peter, yeah, I'm going to have to go ahead and...
We're going to need that on my desk by Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or when can you get that to me? Friday? I'm going to need you to go ahead. That's the kind of shit I hate,
I'm
too.
going to need you to go ahead.
If you wanted it by Wednesday, just tell me you wanted it by Wednesday. Don't tell me end of week and then ask me Wednesday when it's coming. Just pulling a random hypothetical out of the air. Yeah. Yep. It's just a thing. It's a thing, I think, with all bosses in an office environment.
I think in all environments, you've got weird kind of little annoying things.
But I feel like maybe more with more blue collar. I don't even know if that's still like a PC phrase, but
really?
I just don't know, you know? But I feel like maybe people are just more straightforward, like, oi. I don't know why I said oi. Hey. I needed that. Well, English people say oi. It's not just like a Jewish thing. But like, hey, that needs to be done.
Isn't
like
it a different meaning
10 minutes ago.
When Jewish people say it, doesn't it mean like, oi
Oy
vey?
Oy vey, yeah.
Oi.
True. Yeah.
Oi, this one.
I just wanted to clarify for the... listeners that English people, in case you haven't heard, like, you know, not... I almost
they say
common
oi
people. They say
hey.
Oi. It's a bit rude, but oi. Where's that fucking, I don't know, part? I needed it yesterday. You know, instead of like, I'm going to need you to, I feel like it's an office thing. Word wanking, as my ex used to say, you know? And I thought, yeah, word wanking.
Word wanking.
Wanking with your words.
So like dancing around the point?
Yeah,
a little
just
bit?
not being straightforward. And I think it's also a thing that...
But it's like trying to be friendly almost.
I think that's what it is. And I think that it's possibly more of an American thing. Like people in England would say American meetings are much less efficient because there's a lot of talking around stuff, or not just straightforward like, this is your job. Why haven't you done this yet? Do it. Expect it done by tomorrow or whatever. But there's just a lot of maybe ego stroking and...
There are a lot of delicate egos, but I feel like there have to be a lot of delicate egos in England as well. Because people are all pretty much the same no matter where you are.
I think they're...
Like there's insecurity and...
Yeah, but I do think that there is this culture in the U.S. of, you know, everyone's a winner.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you're the 10th place team, you get a trophy too, you know?
You could be anything. You could be Jesus. You could be the president.
Yeah, that. I mean...
That's probably more likely than being...
I think only Jesus could be Jesus.
Yeah, it's true.
and he's done. What?
Just heard squeaking. Oh, it might be Chuck and his Kong.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say we would hear.
Go. He's probably getting his jaw stuck in his Kong.
Don't worry, it'll work itself out with a little like that. Okay, maybe not.
He's such a freaking bonehead.
Okay.
And we're back.
I had to take a little break to make sure the dog wasn't killing himself with his rubber Kong.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know if people will know what a Kong is.
Oh, yeah. It's not like a mini gorilla.
It's like a little toy that you can stick peanut butter into.
Crack myself up.
A little rubber toy, and he gets his...
It's like a cone shape, but there's like swirls in it, I think, so the food gets caught in it.
But our dog jams his bottom jaw into the hole and gets it stuck. And
I'm sure he's not the only one.
Actually, I think that's why they put a hole in the opposite end of it.
Yeah.
Because I think there were Kongs with just one hole on one side, and dogs were getting like suctioned onto them. And I think maybe even a couple dogs went to the hospital.
Okay. Okay, if they made it, we can talk about it.
Some may have died.
You knew I didn't want to hear it.
It's just funny how you interrupt me.
Because I don't want to hear about it, because it puts a damper on...
Anyway, he's fine. He's just being stupid, as per usual.
That will never change.
He's fine.
Yeah. So, anyway, back to dissing on Americans. Yeah, I just think there's a culture... Yeah. Of stroking egos, and not just like, I mean, maybe with more highly competitive companies, you know, who are what was I gonna say? There's another word for competitive, but anyway, you know, maybe publicly traded, like where you are responsible to shareholders and things, like they can't afford that kind of shit. I don't know, but I just feel like there's not a culture of straight shooting, straight talking. I feel like this apple is making me more spitty. I mean, were those people lying to us? Because I feel like...
It's probably just because your mic is turned up and you're hearing it more.
I'm also feeling the spit in my own mouth. Anyway.
I think I'm fine.
Okay, it's fine. I
want to scoot the mic a little closer to my face. Hello. Can you hear me a little better?
So I definitely see in my... Yes, I can. Beautiful. I definitely see in my area of work or my office that there's not just like a straightforward, you're not doing your job. You know? I feel like if someone said that to me, yeah, I'd be a little stung, but I would appreciate it.
Well, I think also the problem in our culture is that if there is any straightforward...
you can get sued for it?
No.
Oh, sorry.
If there is any straightforward interaction, it's because someone is angry a lot of the time or fed up. And it's not just like a cold... businessy, like, but I think there are those type of people in America. They're just kind of rare, and they're people that actually know business because they can talk to people clearly without emotion, and just get what needs to be conveyed across.
I definitely felt like for my time in London, working at a big law firm, I mean, the office itself wasn't a big branch, but it was some big business. It was like international... My fucking headphones are slipping. It was like international oil and gas contracts and litigation and arbitration and
arbitration.
Yeah, it's because
litigation.
I know all the shuns, all the Asians, Tations. Anyway, I definitely experienced from multiple people in that office who weren't necessarily English, but they were used to that culture of work, and they were just fucking efficient, and they got shit done because they had high level clients to report to, and maybe just because it was London. And I definitely kind of like I don't want to say my feelings hurt, but it was I was unaccustomed to it, you know, and it wasn't charged, but it was like, well, if you had done it this way. I remember a guy, like, he was going over edits with me on the phone because he was somewhere else, I forget, maybe he was even in Australia visiting home. But he was like, we were going over this big contract, and I think he assumed I was making the edits a certain way as we were talking about them. And I was like making notes like on a hard copy or something. I forget what happened. And he was like, well, if you had done it like this, we would already be there. And then he just left it. And I was like, oh, like, and he was always very friendly and he appreciated my work. But it was like, damn, like I just wasn't used to it. And I'm super sensitive. But I think also having that American background, it was like, all right, like maybe what I
damn jerk.
If I but he was just, it wasn't necessarily angry. I think there was a little bit of frustration, like that wasn't an efficient way to do it.
Yeah.
And now you've caused confusion. But I was like, also what I should have said in the moment is maybe you should have clarified
the way you wanted
me to do it, or what you expected of me, because we've never done it this way over the phone before.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the thing is, it has to be a two-way street, whether it's cultural or not.
Yeah.
It needs to be a two-way street.
Yeah.
You need to be able to say, okay, boss man or boss woman, you also need to get your shit together.
Yeah. But it was also just like not personal. And then there was another lady there, who said something like, if I would say, well, I don't know, she would ask me about status, and it was like, well, I don't know, it's possible this. And she'd be like, well, can you just call and ask? It was like, I don't know. And it was not emotional. It was not personal, but it was just, well, do it then. Well, why haven't you done it yet? And, so I just wasn't mature enough at that point, or experienced enough, or confident enough to say, and I was like a fish out of water. Is that what you call it? Because I was American, even though there's a lot of Americans there, it was still like, I was not used to the London work culture. I was not used to English, being surrounded by English people and their slightly different way of working. And, but it wasn't personal, but I wasn't used to it. And it was like, all right, and I was dealing with a super stressful situation with a guy I had to share an office with. And he was just like such
annoying.
A prick.
Yeah.
He was such a prick. So it was just a whole stressful experience for the 8 months that I worked there, which isn't a long time, but it felt like an eternity. But there's a lot, I think there's a lot more word wanking in like American companies or in America.
That
like,
actually makes sense. That actually made me think of
very PC, but not in a lot. I don't know.
Just kind of dancing around to not hurt egos.
Just not being straightforward.
That makes me think of, like, for some reason, it makes me think of like going to the flea market, and where there are a lot of Mexican people, and you can, go walking through a crowd of people and bump into people, and like they're just cool and like chill with it, and it's not like whereas if you walk through like a store with a bunch of white people, and if you bump into somebody, like, half the time you're probably going to be met with like, what the fuck, what are you doing,
or just or even passive aggressive, like
delicate kind of egos. And it is kind of a funny thing to look at, cultural differences.
I always thought that Californians were super nice and friendly, and I think they are, and maybe it comes from a good place, or they're just like
compared
approachable
to certain places.
Yeah. But then I heard someone say, and maybe it was when I was in Spain, that they found that fake to bless someone when they sneeze, to say excuse me when you bump into someone, or when you need to squeeze by them in a grocery store aisle or something, or like if you bump into someone on the street. But so like, because there was a lot more of that in Spain, I think, and Europe in general, but where I was in Spain, people bumping into each other, and you're like, ugh, and then it's just like a thing. But then I did see like an old lady, and I might have even talked about this, who was walking by like a group of teens or 20 somethings, and she was getting annoyed because she was like tiny. She's like 5 foot, and she started throwing elbows, because she was just annoyed. So it was like, clearly people get annoyed by it.
But that's Spain.
But I'm just saying, I think in Europe in general, there's
on an entire country.
Well, how much experience do you have with Spain?
I don't have a lot, but
I think it's just a little more of a European thing, though. Like,
aren't Spaniards kind of known for being kind of rude? Sort of like French too.
People are,
but then again, that is.
I think that's the thing.
That's also a stereotype.
I think the rude is not going, oh, excuse me, oh, bless you, oh,
You don't have to go, oh.
I know, but you can just like, obviously I'm being
not
extreme.
deliberately bump into people, or
Yeah, but I think it was more just business-like. Like, I need to get by, because I one time tried to say excuse me in Spanish to a person in a bookstore, And they just weren't moving because I don't think people usually, at least this was in Granada, which is in the south of Spain. It was a little more, I think, provincial or not even provincial. I don't think that's the right word. I don't know, maybe a little more country than some of like the metropolitan areas, but making a lot of squeaky noises over there. I don't know. It was just
picking them up.
We'll see. But there's that B word again. You're getting way too comfortable with that word. But I think it was more like, oh yeah, so I had to basically put, and I got annoyed because I was like, perdóname, you know, and then like the person wouldn't fucking perdóname, and I just had to push by, and I was like, ugh, and I just made a noise because it was like, you're not hearing me. But the bookstore was the aisles were so narrow. It was like, I'm not just saying excuse me because I might brush by you a little bit. It was like, I need you. I can't get by you. You're standing
up on
fully
you.
in the middle of the aisle reading a book or whatever. And I'm like, ahem. Fuck out of the way. Move, bitch. Anyway, so that's my observation of the cultural differences.
Oh my God. Please don't ever talk like that again.
I think I just like talking weird to annoy you sometimes.
Cultural differences. That fills me with rage.
All right. Let's pull you back from the edge a little bit. I think my ears might be filling up with wax because a couple times today I've sort of like either tilted my head or closed my eyes and experienced a tiny bit of vertigo. So, would you flush my ears tonight? Thanks.
I think you can do it. Your own damn self.
Plus, I was having to pick out wax out of my little iPhone earbuds or Apple earbuds or whatever. It was like, this is a low.
Are you guys enjoying this? Are you guys enjoying us talk about?
I'm trying to appeal to all the demographics because there are people who will love it. So I'll just touch on it for people who just like, you know, bodily functions and stuff. And then we can move on and talk about more highbrow stuff.
Okay.
Like.
So say your piece.
No, that was it.
Okay.
That was it.
So we're through it.
Yeah. So we were downstairs earlier and we could hear Mom's little dog Peebles, who's like a dabbled little chihuahua, blonde chihuahua. She's super cute, but she's annoying because she barks and pees and
she got no teeth.
Yeah.
Her tongue hangs out super far.
She got a super long tongue in proportion to her head.
She's terrified of everything. We have a bug zapper. Shocking hornets and stuff.
Yeah. And she launches herself out of her crate.
Yeah, all it is like a little
it's a little louder
sound.
than that, but yeah.
It's pretty quiet. And she just loses her mind.
She does lose her mind, too.
Oh, no.
And pees in her crate or pees wherever she is. And it must be a horrible existence. I mean, that much fear all the time, chronic fear, has to do stuff to you.
Well, there are people with interesting phobias, right? Like there's like fear of long words and fear of like the color yellow and
fear of long words.
Yeah, and it's a long word. Have you heard about this?
What is
the fear of long words? It itself is a long word. It's like hippopotamotalatabeakalataphobia or something. I don't fucking remember.
Let me Google it.
It's a long word.
Let me Google it.
But yeah, there's like fear of yellow tape, fear of having peanut butter stuck to the roof of your mouth.
Bullshit.
No, but listen.
That makes sense because you could choke.
No, I think that would be the fear of choking. This is a fear of having peanut butter.
Fear of choking by means of peanut butter.
Shut up. Just shut up. There was a book at...
It's humongous.
So hold on. There was a book at my high school that had all these fears in it.
We need to get that book for a podcast episode.
It's pretty crazy. There's a lot of fears.
I thought you were making that up.
No.
The hippopotamus. That is the...
got a lot of phobia.
Okay, I had trouble with onomatopoeia.
You want me to read it?
Yep.
Okay. Hippopotamonstrosiquae Sesquipedaliophobia is one of the longest words in the dictionary, and in an ironic twist, is the name for a fear of long words. What sadistic bastard came up with this word?
He didn't believe it was a thing. I assume it's a he, because they're usually more...
Yeah, it might not be a thing.
Oh,
that
okay.
People actually have.
Here is another word for it, which why wouldn't you just use the shorter word? Sesquipedalophobia.
And that's long enough.
Oh my god. It's like longer than supercalifragilistic. Okay, maybe not. Wow.
Yeah.
It reminds me of this Jerry Seinfeld bit where he talks about rhinoplasty as being like, nose surgery or whatever, plastic surgery for noses. And he's like, really? You couldn't call it something else? And obviously that's where like
rhino is like
rhino
Latin
comes from. But still, he's like
something or
he's
some
like,
kind
that's
of thing.
saying that like bald people had a cuballectomy or they're suffering from skinheadia.
Cuballosis.
You had to pick a word that compares him to a rhinoceros. And obviously, like, yeah.
That's a good joke.
It was pretty fucking funny. But it's kind of, I feel like along those lines. Like, really? Well, I know my sister has, I think everyone to some degree has
phobias.
The phobia about like certain sounds, like chewing. I think that specifically.
Is it a phobia or is it just an irritation?
I think it depends on your reaction. And if you kind of are sent into a rage, like a murderous rage. Like, I think I, on purpose the other day, had something in my mouth and I was like, because I kind of half remembered that she has that. And she just, her eyes went wide and her jaw clenched and her fists clenched. And I was like, oh yeah, sorry.
But you weren't sorry?
And I was like,
I'm so sorry.
It's for all those years where she would put her bare feet on throw pillows on the couch. Payback's a bitch. And
all right,
so
then.
Because that's my thing, is your dirty ass feet on the pillows where my head's going to be. Yet somehow I don't mind dog butts on the pillows. About? I don't know. Because I feel like their butts are cleaner.
I'll be sitting on the couch and just be like... Because it'll just smell like somebody's butt right by me.
But I think you have what's probably like hyper nose...
Hyper rhino...
yeah.
Sensibilious.
Yes. Because you can smell stuff that no other human, I think, could. Because I'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I can't smell that.
I can just smell stuff.
And you smell burning 10 minutes before anyone else. Let's see.
I got a big nose. It takes in a lot of... It's like a big computer. It's like a big computer on my face.
Hyperosmia? Hyperosmia is a heightened and hypersensitive sense of smell that's been associated with a number of medical... Maybe we won't go into that.
I should work for the CIA,
hyperosmia.
FBI.
Yeah.
PDF.
No.
CBS.
CBD. THC.
Yeah.
TSA.
No, I don't want to work for the TSA.
Yeah. You'd have to wear really tight pants and...
What?
I don't know.
I wouldn't want to be sniffing anything they would have me sniffing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Probably a lot of urine. I don't know why I said that.
Why did your brain go?
Anyway, so back the long way to Peebles, who is...
Back the long way. To circle back is what normal people say.
I was trying to be a little more creative.
Back the long way. You just did that thing that you said you don't like when people do.
What?
When they make up stuff like, what's on tap for
that's
today?
Not like a popular thing. That's my own thing that I just
made. To
go
back the long way around the cul-de-sac.
I'm saying we're taking the long road home. We're taking the long way back, you bitch.
I don't think that's what you said.
But that was where I was going. Let me revise history. Let me have this. Okay? So, little escapee.
Ew.
Escape artist.
Moving on. You sick.
So people starts barking in her little, and can you do it?
Peebles starts barking?
People started barking when we were downstairs.
Okay, it just sounded like you said people started barking.
No, that would be weird.
Peebles the dog.
Yes,
started
Peebles the
barking.
dog started barking, and she does this little periodic.
Hey. She goes like, and it's like the most pitiful sound.
That's when my mom's coming home and she hasn't gone upstairs yet. She does this like.
Yeah, she
at
does
the end.
this weird.
So weird.
The first time I heard it, it sounded like a person just upstairs going, "Wow!"
Yeah.
Wow! Like what the fuck?
I think what it is dogs yawn when they're stressed. Yeah. So she's doing like trying to do like a bark or a yowl, and then it becomes a yawn. Because Charlie does that sometimes too, and it'll be like, goes, mm-hmm. But she's doing this bark, and usually we know what set her off. Either we've used the bug zapper, or what else? What else sets her off?
I don't know. You dropped a pin.
Yeah, exactly. So, or like you said, an ant farted or something. So I'm like, I don't hear anything, but Brandon's like, I'm hearing this like cheeping coming from the room, and I'm like, maybe it's the bird, because Mom leaves his cage open sometimes just so he can have like a little bit of freedom. Usually he just goes up to the top of his cage and just parks there.
So he can roam around.
Yeah. But so I'm like, I'm going to go check on her because it's weird that she keeps doing it. And then I go in there and the freaking bird, well, you know this already, is on.
You're telling the audience.
I know, but like I was getting like worked up. Like I had just told, like I was telling you. Anyway, I'll look at the pop filter. You guys, the freaking bird was on her bed. He had like hip hoppity over. Flapped? Do you think he... I guess it's short enough distance he would have climbed.
He can't fly. He got up onto his
cage. He can flutter though.
He got up onto his cage. He walked across her nightstand or side table.
Yeah.
Got on the bed.
Yeah.
And then proceeded to leave little turdlets everywhere he goes.
Droplets of joy
mm-hmm.
smeared into the...
Can you potty train a bird?
I wonder, because it would be nice to let him have more freedom. He was clearly enjoying his little jaunt. Yeah, I was thinking if we got comfortable putting him on our shoulders, I'd want to wear a bib and put my hair up. Ew. Because I only wash my hair like every 3 days, and I don't want to be washing it because I got bird shit in it.
Just wear a hazmat suit.
Yeah. That seems less personal and bondy, you know. Anyway, so she was freaking out because the little dinosaur, as Brandon put it, was strutting around on the bed, even though she's in a zipped up pen.
Who knows what he was doing though? Maybe it was looking like he was trying to get in there.
He was probably like giving her
or like trying to unzip it. Like I'm gonna bite
I'm gonna eat you. You look like a chicken. Although he's a bird, so he probably
look like
doesn't
a
eat
tasty
chicken.
morsel. He might eat chicken.
You look like a tasty granola bar or a tasty millet thing. Anyway, it was just funny to just walk in and like the way they walk is funny because they're flying creatures. So when they're just walking around, they just look very self-important and like, yeah. Like almost like he should be holding suspenders or something. Like
with his thumbs.
Fun. With his little talony thumbs. So then I was trying to wipe up bird poop off the
like
comforter.
A southern gentleman. Not wiping up bird poop like a southern gentleman, but walking around.
No, they'd have their maids do that.
Suspenders like a southern gentleman.
Yes. Well, I felt like a southern gentleman's maid trying to clean up bird shit, and it just smears. So it's just gross. But anyway. Ugh. So then I had to go get the gloves and grab him, and he was like screaming. Did you see how fast his little head was moving in his beak? It was like The Exorcist.
I kind of did. He was really trying to bite you.
And it was like mini screams.
But this bird, like...
He's a bit of a freak.
He poops like every, 1 minute? 2 minutes?
Not quite that much, but a lot.
He poops.
I feel like every time we look at him.
I bet if you recorded it, it would be like every 3 minutes. Something like that.
He eats a lot, so he poops a lot. And I think because he doesn't get out as much as he should. I mean, we're trying to work on that, but his personality is very difficult. But I think he eats more as a form of stimulation, and then, mental or emotional stimulation or whatever, and then poops.
It's like Chuck. You try to give these animals freedom, but then they're just like, I'm going to be a freak. Mm-hmm. I'm going to poop and pee everywhere. I'm going to attack somebody or,
Mm-hmm. So it's we spent more time with him, and then he got like, I think, more attached to me, and then was pulling weird,
now he's
jealous
a jerk to your mom.
Stuff. He's a jerk to my mom. He's kind of a jerk to you. Like when we had him in the bedroom the other day, and he was like getting very worked up when you were talking to me and when I was laying in the bed. And it was like a Chuck thing. Like, oh my gosh. What is it about these animals that think I'm their possession?
That's mine. That one's mine. Don't you talk to her.
Don't
and
you
then
touch
like
her.
how they think, like, do they think that they are, I don't know, maybe they don't have any concept
bigger than you, tougher than you,
yeah,
what?
maybe
superior?
Listen, maybe they have no
Better looking?
maybe they have no concept of scale.
Possibly.
Sort of like flat earthers.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like, I could take him, even though they're like the size of my hand.
Well, look at how little dogs are. I mean, it's compensation, you know?
Yeah, but some little dogs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, it's weird.
Like trying to appear bigger with their barks, which is not successful.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Just assholes.
Mm-hmm. Just assholes in chihuahua clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Skin. Oh. What do you got? What happened?
Are you drunk?
What's happened to you today?
What's happening over there?
What's happened to you today? What's happening in your world?
Nothing. Just working and stuff.
How's the game coming? How's the video game coming?
Slow.
Mm-hmm.
But happening.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about dumb quotes by celebrities?
Sure, let's do it. Let's do it.
Dumb celebrity.
Is this chicken
quotes.
or is this fish?
Oh, was that Mandy Moore or something? What was it?
I think it was Jessica.
Oh, Jessica Simpson.
Yeah.
Chicken of the Sea.
Yeah.
To be fair,
well,
I
think people were speculating that she was just making it up, but that was like decades ago.
Yeah, I could see that.
It feels like at least.
They probably, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Really?
If they made it up?
Oh, yeah.
Tuna sounds good.
Okay. You getting hungry?
I've never really wanted to go to Japan simply because I don't like eating fish, and I know that's very, very popular out there in Africa. No way.
What does that even mean?
There is no meaning. It's a really dumb thing to say. I've never really wanted to...
There's no continuity.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. So that's the point.
Because she thinks Japan is a country that's in Africa, the continent.
Oh, is that what?
I've never really wanted to go to Japan simply because I don't like eating fish. And I know that's very popular out there in Africa. I bet that's fake too.
So she thinks Japan is in Africa.
Who do you think said that?
Or he. I don't know why I said she.
Well, I said she. I said she.
Whew.
Now, I don't know if this has been fact checked, but I'm just going to go with it because it's fun.
Okay.
Who do you think said that?
Who do I think said I don't like eating sushi? I don't really know celebrities, so I would have no idea.
Okay.
Sorry.
Was it? No. See, I can't. I'm not good at this.
Okay.
No, I'm not good at making. I'm not good at doing
Giving me an
poker
ABC
face.
choice?
I'm not good at doing a poker face.
So I won't look at you.
Okay.
What's ABC?
So Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, or Mandy Moore? Who said it?
The third one.
I forgot what I said. Mandy Moore?
Yeah.
No, it was Britney Spears.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You thought she was smarter than that?
I didn't know she was... Maybe she was drunk.
Maybe.
I didn't know she was,
well, she should just pull a Roseanne and say I took an Ambien or something. That's why. Otherwise, I would never have said that.
Yeah.
I think I was listening to that podcast there where they...
Ambien is a fucked up drug, though.
I know. But...
sleep driving is one of the common side effects.
Common? Yeah, that's not good.
Like, why are these people still selling this fucking drug?
Because it's a drug that a lot of people buy. Freaking... That is a byproduct of them selling the fucking drug to begin with. There are other sleep aids that work. This is a drug that makes you hallucinate and think you're a fucking robot and then go sleep driving and kill people. Because you're sleep driving. Yeah. Not kill people like as a separate thing. Like, I'm going to go sleep drive and then stab someone and then carry on sleep driving.
Maybe. I don't know, because you're probably hallucinating pretty hard.
If it makes you racist and you're not racist before, then, I mean, you'd be capable of anything. Reporter, did you visit the Parthenon during your trip to Greece? This celebrity. I can't really remember the names of the clubs we went to.
Is that really a dumb thing to say, though? Maybe it is. I could see myself saying something like that.
Okay. Was it Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal, or Charles Barkley?
Shaquille O'Neal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, you can't look at me when I'm listing them off because I'm having to like.
No, that was good.
Oh, okay.
I had no idea.
Only because when we watched Charles Barkley, did I even get his name right?
I like Charles Barkley. He's funny.
When we watch him like on SNL, and he's so bad.
He's
with
so
his
funny on
lines,
SNL,
but he is fucking funny. But I thought he does come across like a dunce, and I have never actually heard him talk
normally.
Yeah, so I don't know if he's actually dumb or just talks kind of slow and low, and you know.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh my god. No, I didn't I didn't go to England. I went to London.
I didn't go to England. I went to London.
Okay, so don't look at me.
Okay.
Oh, I can't do this. Shit. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Let me figure this out. Beyonce, Kim Kardashian, or Paris Hilton?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'm going to guess either B or C.
I forgot what order I read them in.
So I would say definitely not Beyonce.
Mm-hmm. I shouldn't have put her in there. She's too smart.
Yeah. It was Kim Kardashian and who?
Paris Hilton. I just fucking looked at it. I just was like, I'm so bad. But I immediately, like, my eyes flicked down. I'm so bad. That's why you just can't look at me at all.
I think you just need a little more confidence, because I didn't even notice.
Okay.
It looked like you were reading something else. It's fine.
Okay.
Oh my god.
You're
so funny. I'm terrible.
Okay.
I'm so terrible at this.
If everybody in the world dropped out of school, we would have a much more intelligent society.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Am I supposed to guess who this is?
So don't look at me.
Okay. Not looking at you.
Okay. Selena Gomez, Jaden Smith, Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber.
Jaden Smith.
Really?
But again, Justin Bieber, it's not fair that I throw in Justin Bieber because he's equally capable of, or more capable of saying something so stupid.
Man.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So where's the Cannes Film Festival being held this year?
The what?
Cannes, I think that's how you say it. It's spelled Cannes. It's French, right? It's a city in France.
Oh.
The answer is in the question.
The answer is in France?
Cannes. However you say it. I could look it up. I don't think you say Cannes, but she's asking where.
I'm learning how dumb I am, because I could see myself saying some of these things.
Well, but I think if you thought it was... Well, that's the thing, is maybe she thought it was like the name of a person who started the festival. So I don't think that's necessarily fair.
Or just the name of the festival.
But I think if you are... I just did like a weird little tongue fart. I think if you are aware of the festival being a thing, like, it sounds like you've never heard of it.
No.
I think you would kind of know that it's in this place. If you know anything about it. I don't know.
Who said it? Who said it?
Christina Aguilera.
Oh.
Yeah. So, okay, there's the chicken or fish.
Was that Jessica Simpson?
I think what I need to do is write these down because
You're already doing too much right now. Just
hey, what are you implying? Okay. Smoking kills. If you're killed, you've lost an important part of your life.
I like that one.
Do you?
Yeah. It's like that quote from Hot Shots where he's like, "I'm going to kill you until you die from it." I like that a lot.
Yeah, some might argue you've lost the most important part of your life.
Or just you've lost
your life.
Who said that?
Do you want to guess, or do you? I don't
sure,
feel
I'll
like
guess.
I don't feel
sure,
like
I'll
you
guess.
know celebrities
I don't,
well enough.
I really don't, but I'll guess.
Okay.
And the audience can guess.
Okay. Kanye West, Brooke Shields, Andre Agassi.
I have no idea. I feel it could be any of them.
I think if you knew celebrities more, no, even
Isn't
so,
Kanye
you would never.
West supposedly a smart man? I don't know anything about him.
Okay.
Really.
And the only reason I chose Andre Agassi is because this person dated him or was married to him.
Is Andre Agassi like a baseball player?
A tennis player.
Or
it's
a
Brooke
wrestler?
Shields. It's Brooke Shields.
Okay.
So what's funny that you say that about Kanye is
he's Andre the Giant.
He's on this list. He's not a baseball player. You say a baseball player?
Never mind. You go ahead.
Okay. Kanye, here's another quote. He's at number 3. I actually don't like thinking. I think people think I like to think a lot, and I don't. I do not like to think at all.
Andre Agassi said that?
No, sorry, Kanye West.
Kanye West said that? Fuck.
Do you need a break? Yeah. He said that.
Weird.
He said that.
Isn't he like running for president or something?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And who else announced just the other day?
That's a pretty big deal of a quote to have. People think I'd like to think.
Our president has said stupider.
I hate thinking.
Has said worse and stupider, I'm pretty sure.
More stupid? Is stupider a word?
He did not actually say this.
Who?
Our beloved Arnold. Asked whether he supported gay marriage, Arnold replied, "No, I think gay marriage is something that should be between a man and a woman." Come on. I mean, that's just like a mouth slip.
Or just language. You know, because he still has
and who knows when this was.
He still has a very thick accent for how long he's lived in the States.
But also, I just think if you're like off the cuff, I don't know.
I think gay marriage should be between a man and a woman.
Oh my gosh, this one's good. I guess I'm gonna fade into Bolivian. Okay, but this actually isn't fair because this is a boxer. So he might have... It's Mr. Tyson.
A little bit of brain blabblage.
Yeah. Now I feel bad.
That was Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
I'm gonna fade into Bolivian.
That's like saying like blown into blithereens or brain dabblage or something.
I say blithereens.
Except I think
that was my quote.
I thought Markiplier did that.
I think that was mine.
And he got it from you?
I don't think he's ever said that. Blithereens? I think that was me.
I think we heard him say that once.
That was me. That's mine.
Maybe.
I own it.
He owes me royalties.
He never said it. I've said it multiple times.
I feel like I heard him say it because you were like, hey.
I feel like.
You're a bitch.
I feel like.
I guess I'm going to fade into Bolivian. That is awesome.
Into Bolivia? What?
The Dalai Lama said this.
The Dalai Lama?
Dalai Lama. Well, I don't think it's actually pronounced Dolly, how everyone says it. I don't know. Don't make me sound stupid when I'm reading out stupid celebrity quotes. How rude. How ungentlemanlike. He said, apparently, I mean, if a female Dalai Lama come, then she must be very attractive. Otherwise, not much use. Sounds a bit sexist.
Well, when was that?
I don't know.
I feel like that has a little something to do with it.
There's very little in the way of detail that's...
time needs to be relative.
I haven't fact-checked any of these. Like,
All of them could be
just
lies.
To be clear, we're in this together, could probably be sued for slander.
Is the Dalai Lama still alive?
I love them. Love them. The more positive approach... Yeah.
Is he really?
I think so.
Oh.
The more positive approach you have to smoking, the less harmful it is. I don't... Sienna Miller. Okay, so here is an actual Kim Kardashian quote, since I tried to trick you earlier.
I think hers are going to be great.
Kim, on her 72nd day marriage to Chris Humphries, I spoke to a girl today who had cancer. I have no idea how she talks. And we were talking about how hard this is, such a hard thing for her, but it taught her a big lesson on who her friends are and so much about life. She's 18, and I was like, that's how I feel. That's stupid. That's a stupid one. I regret reading that.
That's just talking dumb.
Oh my gosh.
Not really necessarily a dumb quote.
Okay, I assume this is a guy from Coach, Craig T. Nelson, and I think he was in the Poltergeist movies, or at least the first one. I don't know. And
any relation to Mike Nelson?
No, I don't know, actually. I assume he's anti government handouts? I don't know. Apparently, he said, I've been on food stamps and welfare. Anybody help me out? No.
What?
Like, has anyone ever helped me out? No. I've been on food stamps and welfare, meaning I was so poor to be on these things, nobody helped me out. The government helped you out. That's what that is.
And not really the government, the people, because the people are paying for that. So everybody collectively helped him out.
But the government can do anything, so they could just take that money and put it to the military or put it in their pockets.
Up their own ass.
Exactly. Snort it. Anyway, that's all I have. Oh, no, there's a lot more. But I think we spent enough time on this. Do you? What's a stupid thing you've said? You know what I've said one time? That still causes
I've said a lot of stupid things.
Yeah, but like
I can't keep track of all the stupid things I say.
You're lucky because do you ever just have those moments, though, where you wake up in the middle of the night cringing from what a stupid thing you said? Like when I thought that, what is her name? Nora Jones was Tom Jones's daughter, and I said it with such authority, such confidence. That's totally different, though, because that was a really dumb one.
I know. You're wrong, and I know.
I didn't say it like that,
Or you go, huh, you think this?
No, I didn't. No, I don't. This was different,
Sometimes
though.
You do.
This was different, though, because it was more like blowing bubbles with my mouth. It was more like, did you guys know that? And, like, I said it to, like, Pete, John, and they're, like, music people, okay? And, I think Robbie. And they all, like, laughed. They wouldn't, like, laugh. That's actually what made it worse, is they didn't just laugh in my face. They were like, no, Ravi Shankar's her father. And I think he, like, was a famous, I don't know if he was, where he was from. I'm not going to speculate because that would probably be racist. But I think he played with the Beatles. I'm sure he was successful in his own right. And I just thought, I think I had read it or just made an assumption that she was Tom Jones, the Welsh singer's daughter, and I didn't take it any further with my research and just said it with such authority and confidence, and I am bestowing on you guys this knowledge. And they were like, no. And I was like, I still cringe at that memory. Like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Well, sometimes when you hear a thing or, you know.
When I heard James Hetfield died and it was like one of those Morgan Freeman death rumors. Do you have any super cringy memories that, like, you kind of go, like, just randomly, like, you want to smack your forehead?
Doesn't everybody?
Yeah, but I want to hear
stupid things.
I want to hear what yours are. But there are some that, like, and they're really unimportant, but they haunt me, you know?
I don't really want to think about my dumb memories that haunt me.
I don't try to. They just come up, and they come up enough.
Well, they're not coming up now.
Good. All right. We'll leave it at that.
Thanks.
You're lovely.
You're sweet.
Don't be haunted by...
I have a lot of stupid memories of, you know, being stupid and saying stupid things.
Maybe we should stop saying that word because it's a really horrible word. And I guess we can say stupid things but not be stupid. Just like we can say racist things sometimes and not actually be... No, not like we're gonna, like I'm encouraging it, but people can say things. It doesn't mean they are that thing. I was trying to be big. I was trying to be cool. I was trying to be meaningful.
One sentence won't define you as a person.
Yeah. I'll strike all that other shit that I said and just use that.
Unless you're like spending years to write that sentence.
Mm-hmm. That's all you've done. It will define you.
Mm-hmm. If you want it to define you.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Like
heavy.
Hitler. I feel like he was maybe.
But it wasn't one sentence. It was a lot of sentences that reinforced the same ideas.
That's true. He was that.
He really made an effort.
So I don't know what my analogy was.
Nice attempt.
Was it?
I'm trying to be supportive.
That's okay. You don't have to be.
I do. we're actually recording this on my lunch break. I just snuck out for an hour to record. So you should really appreciate this, like a little gem, you know?
Yeah.
They let me out.
Comment and subscribe.
Prescribe.
Like, comment, and prescribe.
Mm-hmm.
Prescribe to us.
Prescribed by your physician for your mental health.
And ring the bell.
Ring the goddamn bell.
Smack that bell.
But seriously, I mean, don't hit like if you don't really like us. Like, I don't really want that. But if you do like
hit
it...
dislike.
Well, you hit the like button twice.
Hit the like button. Hit the dislike button.
Why did
twice.
You tell them to hit dislike? No, nowhere near the dislike button. If you don't like us, just stop listening to us or give us constructive feedback. That's totally fair.
If you don't like us, send us death threats.
What is wrong with you?
Hate
all right,
mail.
You're cut off. I'm
just kidding. Please don't actually do that.
Like cut you or cut you? What do you mean?
No, I was talking to the audience.
Oh yeah, just I mean, constructive feedback would be okay.
Yeah.
Or just stop listening
to us.
Than
okay.
But if you have paused here or listened and you like us, please hit the like button, because it also is reinforcement for us, and so we know that someone likes us and not just our moms. Okay. Do you have any closing thoughts?
No.
In closing,
nope.
Like us. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.